In 1978, director Michael Cimino needed someone to sit at a table, press a gun to his own temple, and pull the trigger, on camera, over and over, for hours of filming. Most actors refused the scene outright. But Christopher Walken not only said yes, he asked to do again. That performance won him an Academy Award. But here is what almost no one knows. It was not the first time Walken had trained himself to be still in the face of death. He had been doing it since he was 15 years old, inside a steel cage, with a 400-pound lioness named Sheba. Ronald Walken, yes, that was his real name, grew up in Astoria, Queens, the son of a German immigrant baker. His neighborhood was working class, ordinary. Nothing about it suggested a future Hollywood icon. At 15, he talked his way into a job assisting legendary lion tamer Terrell Jacobs. Every night, he stepped inside a cage with a fully grown lioness. No safety net, no stunt double, just a wooden chair, a whip, and whatever nerve a teenage boy from Queens could manufacture. Years later, in a rare candid interview, Walken said something that stopped the interviewer cold. He said, "Sheba was actually very sweet, but I was always aware that she could kill me. You have to be. The moment you forget that, that is when it goes wrong." That sentence, "the moment you forget that, it goes wrong," is the key to understanding everything he ever did on screen. When Walken first started getting serious film roles in the mid-1970s, acting coaches noticed something strange. He cannot be directed the normal way. You cannot tell him to feel more fear or show more joy. He simply did not respond to emotional instruction. What he responded was rhythm, silence, stillness, things he had learned not in any drama school, but by standing inside a cage where a wrong move could end his life. His famous pauses, the ones that make audiences lean forward in their seats, they're not acting choices. They're survival instincts. In the circus, Walken learned that sudden silence could reset the energy in a room. A lion responds to energy shifts. So does an audience. He found out, almost by accident, that the two were not so different. Watch the Pulp Fiction watch monologue. Watch the way he drops his voice mid-sentence, then lets a full second of silence fall before continuing. That is not a script direction. Quentin Tarantino has admitted he barely directed that scene. Walken simply did what felt natural to him. And what felt natural had been wired into him 30 years earlier in a circus ring in the American Midwest. Here is something film critics almost never talk about. Christopher Walken has said in multiple interviews that he finds acting easy, not challenging, easy. And when you understand where he came from, that makes complete sense. Most actors spend their entire careers trying to access real fear, real danger, real stillness under pressure. They take method classes. They do ice baths. They starve themselves. They do all of this trying to simulate something Walken actually lived repeatedly as a teenager. By the time a camera was pointed at him, Walken had already resolved the central problem of acting. How do you stay present when everything inside you is screaming to run? He had answered that question with a lioness watching his every breath. So when he walks onto a movie set and the director says, "I need you to feel real fear," Walken does not imagine anything. He remembers, and that is a resource that no acting class in the world can give you. We like to believe that great actors are born, that some people are simply wired differently from the rest of us, touched by some rare gift that makes them capable of making us feel things we cannot explain. But Christopher Walken's story suggests something more uncomfortable. That the quality we call screen presence, that thing that makes you unable to look away, might not be a gift at all. It might be a scar. It might be what gets left behind in a person after they have spent enough nights in the dark, alone, with something that could kill them, and chose to stay anyway. The lions are long gone. The circus is a memory. But every time Walken steps in front of camera, he is still the same 15-year-old boy from Queens. Steady, quiet, completely unafraid. Because he already knows the worst thing that can happen, and he survived it.